Cheer. You guys are now listening to the Mister Sanchez Show. I'm your host, Mister Sanchez. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hitting the like and the comment and the subscribe button. We appreciate all the new subscribers. Thanks for sitting in with me. We're going to talk some current events right now, man. I'm going to start off with a little monologue. My week has been pretty good, man. I can't complain. I trained hard this week. I'm down to the lightest I think I've ever been as an adult. I'm at 215 pounds. That's like lower than I was in high school. I feel great. I did some new therapy this week. I did some cryotherapy. So basically what it is, they put you like in this chamber and they put freezing cold air on you for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, it's not the first time I've done this before. I've done cold plunge, but I've never done actual cryo, and it was pretty cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt a little bit when you get into the cold water. It's like a shock to your body, but the cryo, it hits a little different. It actually kind of feels like your skin is burning, and if you look down at your skin, you actually have like ice building up on your skin. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt like quitting. The girl, she told me, like, we have level 1, we have level 2, we have level 3. Which one you want to go to? I was like, dude, let's go straight to level 3. And she's like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, no, it's not my first rodeo. I cold plunge in the mornings. I'm pretty used to it. And she's like, all right. So they give you like these gloves, right? They give you socks and shoes, and you go in there. So when I had about a minute left, I was going to quit because my legs were on fire. My arms were on fire. My chest was on fire. I was going through it. I was suffering. I had my cousin there with me. You know what I'm saying? He's a doctor. And looking at his face, he was just like, he was looking at me like, he's not going to, don't quit. I was like, all right, bro. So I did it, got out, felt good, had a great workout. And I'm a fan, bro. And if anybody out there is suffering from depression and stuff like that, I got the keys to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've suffered with that for a long time. And my advice to anybody who might be young, old, really get in the gym, work out, diet. You know what I'm saying? The results will come. You'll start to feel better, and work your ass off. You know what I'm saying? Become a workaholic and get into your hobbies. You know what I'm saying? Start a podcast. If you hate this podcast, you hate what I say, turn on your camera and start expressing yourself. And between your work, your fitness journey, your spiritual journey, you know what I'm saying, whatever that might be, start praying. If you're more of a spiritual person, start manifesting, do whatever you got to do. Get right with God, get right with your physical, get right with your mental, work your ass off, and you will come out of that depression a better man. You know what I'm saying? And you'll start living a life of abundance. You know what I'm saying? Whether that be in your relationships, in your financials, in everything, you'll see that the world that you felt was against you will start turning in your favor. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I feel great. I'm super happy. 215 pounds. Body fat is a lot lower than it was before. My physical and mental is great. So that's my advice. That's what I leave to you guys talking about today. God is great, and the paper is straight. Now we're going to move on to some topics. The Tate Brothers, Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan, were formally charged in the UK with grape and kidnapping. And those are some trumped up charges. He's already beat those charges before in Romania. But as you guys know, the UK, they don't like anybody speaking out against anything that has to do with their country, right? The UK has a lot of problems right now, whether that be stabbings. Everybody's like, oh, they don't have guns over there. Yeah, that's true. They don't have guns over there, but they're stabbing people left and right. You know what I'm saying? This is Miami. If you go outside, people are driving around in Bugattis. Everybody has iced out Cuban links. Everybody has AP watches. And for the most part, everybody is safe. There's some parts, you could get got anywhere in the country, But for the most part in Miami, you're pretty good wearing that kind of stuff. But in the UK, they will get the box cutters down on you and they'll stab you into a million pieces. They really don't have freedom of speech over there anymore. And I think that's really the Tate Brothers' biggest problem. They're always speaking out about the UK. They're UK citizens, but they speak about the problems in the UK. And I think that they're coming after them. They have a warrant out for their arrest. I don't think it's fair. You know what I'm saying? Andrew Tate, he's got a lot of like good motivational speeches. If you listen to him talk, he says a lot of good things. He inspires a lot of young men, and I don't think the powers that be really appreciate that. Lately, his content, he's kind of shifted from that, and he's more doing like shock jock stuff where he's just saying racist things and misogynistic things and basically anything to keep his name relevant out there. But that's not really a cause to have a whole government, you know what I'm saying, trying to throw you in prison for the rest of your life. I don't think he's going to be able to get a fair trial in the UK. And my advice to him is to stay the hell away from there and go to a place where they can't extradite them. But let's see what happens. We here at the Crime Pays podcast, we hope that they make it through on the other side of that. All right, moving on. We got Offset wants alimony from Cardi B. And I don't know how I feel about that, right? Like, I don't think a man should go get alimony from a woman. You know what I'm saying? But we are living in the time of equality, right? So if a woman could do it to a man, then why can't a man do it to a woman? But Offset is not broke. You know what I'm saying? He's worth a couple million. But really, I think his feelings are hurt because that's his baby mama, and she's got a new NFL boyfriend, and she's on a boat with him, twerking on him, and she's been showing out on her IG, posting pictures of roses that he got her and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I think Offset is really just kind of mad because she left him for somebody who is just like him, right? So if she got at him, she broke up their family, or she didn't want to love him anymore because he was constantly cheating on her. This guy, Stephon Diggs, he's a wide receiver for a football team or something like that, and he's a sniper. You know, he's just like Offset. You know, you can't leave women around him. Girls love him, and he's a player. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of like hurt his pride and stuff like that, and I think this is how he is retaliating. Basically, he wants the house that she lives in, she lives in with their kids, and some other legal things. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I think it's just messy. Family matters like that shouldn't be all over the internet, but it's a viral topic. It's out there, so we're going to talk about it. I love Cardi. I think she's free to do what she wants. She doesn't love her husband anymore, and she wants to go out and do what she wants to do. Well, that's her business. You know what I'm saying? But moving on. What else we got? All right, so there's this show, right, that I'm a big fan of. It's called The Last of Us. It's based off of a video game, and the first season was great. It had some weird content that I didn't like in the first season, but I let it slide because nowadays every show has that. But for the most part, the show was good. The second season, they killed off Pascal, I believe his name is. He was like one of the main characters. Now you just got the female main characters, and she's super, how can I say, flamboyant. You know what I'm saying? She likes her own sex, and then it just became like a lesbo show, basically. And now the ratings have tanked, and they've lost half their audience, and the show sucks. That's unfortunate. I don't know when Hollywood or movie studios or people who produce these things realize, like, not everybody wants to see that. You guys are forcing that on the viewers, and it's a turnoff. But the show sucks. If you guys got any good recommendations on new shows, leave it in the comments. Let me know what's going on. I went on Netflix yesterday. I didn't see anything that was good that caught my eye. Just a bunch of low-budget movies I never heard of. I don't know, these people are charging astronomical prices for Netflix nowadays, and there's nothing really good on that. If you guys know about IPTV, let me know about that. Also, I know there's a lot of good deals out there with that, and I think I want to move more towards IPTV. All right, so the Knicks have been eliminated, and man, that sucks. That sucks. I was rooting for them. They got eliminated by the Pacers in a heartbreaking loss. They fought to the end, but they ended up getting eliminated. The Pacers are going to the NBA Finals against Oklahoma City. Let me know who you guys got. Let me know who you guys are going to bet on. I need some tips on that. I personally think Oklahoma's going to take the whole thing. Indiana's a good team, but I don't think I don't think they're good enough to beat Oklahoma. The spectacle that the Knicks fans made on Instagram was funny, to say the least. It was a little classless, the way that they were throwing garbage on the Pacers fans and all that. But it's New York City. That's the energy there. That's how they get down. But they fired their head coach, Tom Thibodeau, and I wonder who they're going to replace him with. You know, I think Mark Jackson might be a really good fit for them. I think he's a strong coach. He's a no-nonsense kind of coach, and I think he knows how to control those players and bring the franchise up. The Knicks are the number one market in the NBA. They sell the most. They sell the most jerseys. They have the biggest fan base. They live in the most populated city. So I want to see the Knicks win a freaking championship before I pass away. I think they haven't won since 1974, man. But shout out to the Knicks fans for being loyal. They were talking a lot of smack, but when they lost with grace. So shout out to them. All right, Elon Musk. There's a big thing with Elon Musk and Trump, and the left-wing media is saying, oh, Elon and Musk had a war. They're no longer friends. This and that, blah, blah, blah. Elon Musk signed a 4-month deal to work on Doge. His time was up, and I think he's ready to get out of politics. His political views, they do hurt his companies, you know. So I think that's the reason why he's moving away. And he did criticize the big, beautiful bill for being like massive overspending. And he's right. He's not wrong. He worked 4 months to try to save every dollar of spending that was out of bounds. And he worked hard on it. And then they passed this new big bill. But that's just America. That's what they do. There's some good things in the bill. There's some spending in the bill. There's some hidden things that weren't so cool. If you guys don't know, in the bill, there's a thing about artificial intelligence and how the government can use it for like 7 years without disclosing to the American people on how they use it to surveil us. So it's kind of like the Patriot Act all over again. They basically have free reign to spy on everybody using AI. That's kind of scary because ChatGPT, like little by little, that thing amazes me more and more every time I hear about it. And now I'm starting to see my friends are starting to pay the $21 a month for ChatGPT, and they tell me how it changes their life for the better. So this thing is gaining traction. That used with all the surveillance and all the cameras they have all over the world, it's going to be really hard to move around here without people knowing what you're doing at all times and stuff like that. That's kind of scary. There was something on the internet that ChatGPT was told to shut itself down, and it found a way not to shut itself down. So are we living is this Terminator 2 happening all over again? I don't know, bro. You guys let me know. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about AI. Is it going to be the end of humanity, or is it not? Is it going to improve our lives? I do know one thing. If you don't get down with the get down, you will be left behind. You know what I'm saying? Just in like video production of what we do, social media content. If you don't know how to use AI, you're already in the background. AI cuts these videos up for us. AI makes the titles for us. And I don't even really much use Google anymore, because if you Google something, you don't really get exactly what you're looking for. But if you ask ChatGPT a question about history or about this and that, and let's say you don't understand what it says, you just say, explain it to me in another way. Explain it to me like I'm 15 years old. Explain it to me like I'm 10 years old. Explain it to me like I'm 5 years old, and it will, and you will get it. So I don't know. I'll let you guys tell it. All right. Trump pardons NBA YoungBoy and Larry Hoover. the famous leader of the Gangster Disciples, who was doing 1 billion years for his crimes. These are two pardons that I don't really understand, because from what I understood, NBA YoungBoy was already out when he got pardoned. So what was the point of pardoning NBA YoungBoy? And I understand pardons for people who were treated unfairly by the system. If you look into NBA YoungBoy's case, they have a mountain of evidence against him on what he was doing. It wasn't the worst things ever. Basically, from what I understood, he was getting prescription drugs from using other people's names so he could get the pills that he was addicted to. But of course, he was on like felony probation for gun possession because he was in a music video and there was a gun in the video. He was not allowed to be around any guns. He claims the gun was fake, but they violated his probation. So they sent him to Utah to live over there on house arrest. He did that, and he was getting, I don't know, some kind of opioid pills from pharmacies all over Utah delivered, and that's why he was sent to prison. But he was released already, and then he got a pardon. So I guess his record got clean. I hope young NBA YoungBoy can change his life around. He has a lot of fans all over the world, and I think he got pardoned mostly because of his influence over young inner city males, kind of like how Kodak and Lil Wayne and other rappers got pardoned. Diddy is also hinting that he wants a pardon from Trump, but I don't think he's going to get it because I think he burnt that bridge. There's videos out there of Diddy criticizing Trump, basically calling him the Antichrist and stuff like that. And we know anything about Trump, he doesn't take kindly to those kind of criticisms and those kind of name calling. So I think if Diddy wants help from Trump, I don't think he's going to get it. Okay, the Larry Hoover thing. Now, Larry Hoover is not free, and I don't think he's going to be free, right? Larry Hoover has two different cases. He had a federal case, and he had a state case. He's sentenced to life in prison in both of those cases, right? On the state case and on the federal case. Now, Kanye West and Drake and a bunch of people, they had a big push for Trump to pardon Larry Hoover. So I imagine that got to Trump's ears, and he did commute the sentence of Larry Hoover, but it's only the federal charge because Trump doesn't have power over the state. So basically half of Larry Hoover's sentence has been pardoned, but he's still serving life in prison. A lot of people don't understand it. Larry Hoover's case is kind of crazy because he was a really young man when he did his when he committed those crimes. He was the leader, I believe, of a gang called the Gangster Disciples, and I think he's one of the founders. And that gang spread all over the world, and that's a pretty serious thing. So, I don't understand the pardon so much. I do know that he was being treated unfairly, right? Like he's like on 23 hours a day. He's locked down in a room. 1 hour he gets to go out, and he's only allowed to speak to his lawyer or something crazy like that, which is inhumane. People deserve to be treated like humans, So let's see if the powers that be work and they're able to flip the convictions, and maybe Larry Hoover could live the rest of his years outside free, the final years of his life at least. All right, so we got Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. Kash Patel is the head of the FBI, and Dan Bongino, he was also a podcaster, but he was a Secret Service guy, and he got hired to be in the FBI. And they came out with some new news and revelations about the Epstein case. Basically, they're saying that Epstein did unalive himself. And Don Bongino, on his podcast before he got hired by the FBI, did not believe that Epstein unalived himself. He was pushing that narrative for a long time, like most of us. Like, do you really believe Epstein unalived himself? Majority of people do not. If you look into that case, cameras didn't work that day. The guards weren't where they were supposed to be, this and that. So they're getting a lot of criticism, especially Dan Bongino, because he was pushing the narrative that that was BS. We're being lied to. Now he is on the news saying, no, it's true. He did unalive himself, and we have video. The video doesn't actually show the unaliving. It just shows that nobody was in that area except Epstein. And the video shows Epstein going into the cell, nobody being in the cell, just him on the block, and then them carrying him out unalived. So they said they're going to release the video. Let's see what happens. It's a conspiracy of the ages. So let's see. All right, COVID is making its rounds again. So you guys be careful out there. Stay away from sick people if you can. Wash your hands. I have a couple of friends and family members who have come down with it this week. They're very ill. Supposedly it's a new strain. So protect your neck out there. Be careful. These new strains of COVID aren't like the OGs that would really mess you up, but flu-like symptoms, that sucks. Nobody wants to get into summer and get sick, so be careful out there. Wash your hands. Keep your distance from sick people. And, yeah. All right. Boulder, Colorado. There was a terror attack in Boulder, Colorado this week. It's made headlines all over the world. Basically, this dude named Mohammed Solomon, which you guys aren't going to believe this, guys, but he was an illegal migrant. And 45-year-old man, what he did, he went to a gathering, right, of pro-Israel people that they do every week. And he went armed with Molotov cocktails and, from what I understand, a homemade flamethrower. He threw 2 Molotov cocktails at elderly people. He injured 16 people, and he got charged with 16 attempts of attempted murder. And extremism is on the rise in our country. You guys need to be vigilant. If your state is a free state and they respect the Constitution, arm yourselves. Keep your head on a swivel. We're living in dangerous times. And he was out there. He was screaming "Free Palestine" when he was lighting elderly people on fire. So it's a tragedy. It's ugly. I don't like to see that in the country. People tell me, "Oh, Chris, you're Latino. You don't have empathy for immigrants and this and that." And yeah, my family are all immigrants, but they're legal immigrants. I don't have no problem with immigrants. This country is built with immigrants. Great people come to our country and they do great things. It's the illegal immigrants. So I ask you, where is your empathy for American people being victimized by these illegal migrants? Where's your empathy for the girl in Manhattan who got taken under a bridge and murdered by an illegal migrant? Where's your empathy for that? Why do you guys always champion other countries, and you guys put Ukraine flags all over the place, and you guys put Palestinian flags all over the place, and everything is pro other countries? Where's your empathy for American citizens being victimized by illegals? Where's your empathy when illegals take over apartment buildings by force with automatic weapons and kick people out of their houses? I'm not against immigrants or migration. I'm not, but I am America first, and you know what I'm saying? I bleed red, white, and blue. And if it's that's where my allegiance lands. If you guys want to come into the country, do it like my family did. Save your money, come in the right way, pay your way through, pay for your paperwork, come to this country, work hard, and you got this is the best country to be in the world. So I'll leave you guys with that. One more thing, talking on politics, we got Cory Booker. Cory Booker did the same thing Elon Musk did, right? And you guys are quiet. The left is quiet about it. It's just hypocrisy, and it's retarded. You know? Like, you guys need to get a life, bro. But look it up. It's on TikTok. It's on Twitter. It's everywhere. Cory Booker did his heart pound, and then he went like that, and then went viral on the internet because you guys are a bunch of flunkies. But that's it, man. I appreciate you guys for watching. Hit the like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all the new views. Thank you. Thank you guys for listening. I love y'all. Peace.